which was dehydrated fish powder. If you can imagine going fishing, bringing home a fish, chop it up in powder.
What's up? 筋肉翻訳です。さあ今日はレジェンドの語る60年代からのプロテインの歴史見ていきましょう。今はコンビニなど手軽にプロテインを買えますよね。初めはどんな製品だったか知っていますか？今回は60年代からボディビルダーとして活躍していたリクさんがプロテインやおすすめのサプリメントについて話をしてくれています。どんなものから始まったのでしょうか？早速見ていきましょう。どうぞ。
Back in the early 70s, late 60s, we didn't know a lot about protein, so we got our protein from food. I joined the gym when I was about 14, and the trainer there gave me some protein tablets. He says, you got to chew these when you work out. They were vanilla or they were chocolate. They looked like some sort of wood, and they would stick to your teeth and get all gummy, but they tasted okay. I don't know what kind of protein it was. I had no idea what protein was, but I ate them. And then I moved on a little bit and I went to a health food store and I see all these different proteins by Bob Hoffman, he was a promoter for Olympic lifting and powerlifting. So he had Hoffman's protein. He spelled one of his cans protein, P-R-O-T-E-E-N, to get away from the fact that it wasn't real protein, which is T-E-I-N. And I noticed that. I said, why would this guy do this? Now I realize it was the labeling, didn't have to pass the FDA. Then he had another protein out called protein from the sea, which was dehydrated fish powder. If you can imagine going fishing, bringing home a fish, chop it up in powder, mix it in water and drink it, that's what it tasted like. It was literally horrible. It was the worst thing I've ever tasted and it really upset my stomach. But I wanted to try it. Then I tried soy protein. The soy protein I didn't like at all. It does nothing for you and it retains water. You don't digest it properly. All right, these were different proteins I would try. And then all of a sudden came Rio Blair's protein. Rio Blair's protein was the one to take, but it's very, very expensive. I made a deal with him through Arnold and he gave me the protein if I would model his products. And you're supposed to mix it with cream. It was the old cream and protein diet that Vince Gironda used at Vince's gym for Larry Scott and Don Hallworth and a lot of the competitive bodybuilders. His principle was if you have the cream with the protein is used as calorie burning and the protein is used to build muscle. So you need the fat and the protein. It tasted great. He made a protein pudding with it and it worked great. But today, I guess they still take protein. A lot of the pros do, but I think they get most of it from their food or they have a sponsor who gives them the protein and that's what they take. Probably whey protein. You take about 30 or 40 liver pills a day and those are a really good source of B vitamins and proteins. Then it switched to amino acids. So you would switch from 30 liver pills to 30 amino acids. But now with amino acids, you can take them in a liquid form, so you get rid of the pills, because they're a nuisance to take all those pills around with you. When I was buying protein in the 70s, there was a friend of mine that worked for the stock market, and he had a line of protein he was selling out of his car. So I would buy my protein from him. Then there was another guy at Bill Pearl's gym that had a line of protein. I never walked into a health food store because I didn't even know of any really. They were all independent. There was no major brand health food stores. And so we had our own way of getting them through other people who had it. And it worked fine. You know, that's just the way I did it, but I still stuck to regular foods. I used to take milk and add powdered milk to it and make more protein out of the milk. But then it became fattening. But just real food was the best for me. I was advised to take certain supplements like CLA, carnitine, certain things that I would have to put on my counter at home. And the bottles got to be overwhelming with all the bottles that I had. And half the time I didn't know if the stuff was working or not. I couldn't tell. I'd go on it, I'd go off it. I never saw a huge difference. So in order to get results, you've got to take a lot of it. And then you've got to diet. So when you get down to the bottom line, whatever you take might work if you're dieting really hard. If you're not dieting, it's probably not going to work for you because it doesn't work that way. You have to really watch what you eat. I was always told that CLA burned fat, never burned any fat off me, neither did carnitine. But you take it believing that maybe someday you'll work in the mirror and say, oh my God, I got a vein. But it never really worked that way. I still think the aminos are the best. There's certain supplements, B6, folic acid, vitamin D3, omegas, I think those are all very important. And I do take those daily. Now this is not an advertisement for old school supplements. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe in it. And I don't talk about stuff I don't believe in. And this is the truth. I take all their products. I take the Bend for the joints. I take the Boost. I take the Burst for energy. I take the pre-workout and I take the BCAA and I do it religiously every day. And I feel much better by taking it than if I didn't. I see a difference in my workouts. I see a difference in results. I don't like not to take it. And I don't even take protein right now. I take all these instead. And I believe it. I believe in the product. I believe in the company. And I believe they have a good product. They've done their research and I wouldn't go anywhere else.
さあ、いかがでしたでしょうか？偽物やまずい魚の粉末など様々あったんですね。今のプロテインはほとんどが美味しく作られていて、原材料も牛乳、大豆、牛肉、卵など様々あります。メインは牛乳から作られたホエイですが、自分に合ったものを選びたいですね。 概要欄にはリッドさんおすすめのサプリメントを貼ってあります。まだ試したことがない人は参考にしてみてください。みんなの欠かせないサプリメントは何ですか？コメント欄で教えてください。僕はプレワークアウトが欠かせません。最後まで見ていただいてありがとうございます。感想や動画のリクエスト、チャンネル登録お待ちしています。ではまた。I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back. 'Cause you're